I gave a professional full-time artist 10 minutes to draw this picture. And since you know I'm getting into art, I gave myself 1 full hour to draw the same picture. Giving myself 6 times the amount of time they got should be enough of an advantage for me to win this. At least I think. So let's find out. Now he starts off this drawing by actually going straight to the thing in the middle of the picture, just going straight for the eye. This is one of the people that taught me how to draw, and he would have told me to get your guidelines set up, start drawing the circle for the face shape, get the direction that the face will come through at, and then start working with all the extra details. But as you can see, he just shoots off, goes right to the eye, starts finding some hair, and this is so counterproductive to every single thing I've been taught. Now obviously this is a much different challenge. When you're taught how to draw, obviously you have infinite amount of time. You can take as many days as you want. But he starts off with the eye. That's threw me for a loop. And honestly, a pretty big one. He's also using the lasso tool a lot more than I already do. You guys know if you watch my drawing videos, I will just Control Z. I will redo every single line. This guy's just putting stuff on the paper. And something about that already threw me for a loop because I expected to see a lot of guidelines and even reference lines, I guess, where these are things that I too could work with. Hey, I see, the direction of the face and it's going top down in this direction and so on. Does that make sense? So he just goes straight for eyeball, hair, mouth, puts the nose there. And you can tell when a professional artist is working, they have a lot more of a idea of where things are going to go without having to see it. And that is something that I do not have at all. So that is already really scary for me. And I pretty much assume getting the regular or the full shape is the hard part, because adding details, this guy obviously is going to clown me on, because I don't know how to tell that the hair is jumping upwards towards the face and what line should be hidden because you wouldn't actually see it. Details in hair, my god, hair is so hard to draw. So you can see comes through and he's still seeing weirder parts, and I don't think he's looking at the reference as much to see that mouth was maybe messed up. Freckles. Why he's adding freckles? Where did we get off to? So yeah, this is all of this is definitely showing a little bit of what I should try and look at myself. My big thing definitely being I struggle with face shape. So this guy, he just threw on a face shape and then started adding details, lasso tooling to fix the direction and things like that. He's even adding color, man. And I think I might be cooked. If he's spending time adding color and details, this is not good for me. But luckily I do have 1 hour. I even make him do the press the H key tech to see if it looks the same if it's flipped horizontally, and it did, which is honestly soul crushing for me in this moment. Now there are some people that say 2 minutes isn't a long time. There are some people that might say 10 isn't, but I have 1 full hour. That is 6 times the amount of time he got. So I'm going to get my pen and not my paper ready. I'm going to get my drawing pad ready, and we're going to get right into my side of things, where you might see just a little bit of what I'm cooking here. But before we get to see what I'm cooking, let's talk about what we're wagering. I thought I'd sweeten the pot a little bit and wager a 20 boneless wings from Buffalo Wild Wings because it was a Thursday. The stakes are high.
So we're adding prizes to this shit.
You know exactly.
Okay.
Man. So yeah, so now that we acknowledge that this is a real competition that's serious, I put the glove on. So I'm off to the running. I have 1 hour on the clock. Now exactly what I do right here is I just set up my guideline. I'm trying to see how it feels to even draw these lines, try and figure out, okay, where am I going to put the eyeballs, the nose, every single thing. How am I going to get the direction of the face? And I'm not going to lie, this is actually where I lose a lot of my time, is trying to figure out what is the angle of my my center line, and then my half of my circle line, whatever you call them for your own thing. How do you set yourself up for success when you get actually onto your own paper? And this is where I actually spend a lot of my time, man, because I never feel truly confident with it. Some people can look at guidelines and be like, well, this is where it already messed you up. Well, I don't see it that way. I'm like, well, whatever I draw onto the reference, then I can just add it, right? It's even if my guideline's off, well, I can just place something correctly. Now, that's not actually how it works, and I don't recommend people try that, but that's where my brain goes because, well, I still suck at this, man, and it is what it is. But 1 hour is still better than 10 whole minutes. So I myself, I love drawing eyes. I think eyes are one of the coolest parts about anime. Basically, it's one of those things, man. I feel like I can look at some of my favorite anime and manga characters. I can look at their face, look at their eyes, look at certain parts of them, and I know exactly who I'm looking at, and that's kind of been my favorite thing to draw. So I always try and start one of those once I get my face set up. Again, I know that my face is my worst quality or worst thing that I draw, so I definitely try and hurry it up, right? We try and get that face shape, all that done, so I can draw the parts that I'm good at. Now, eyes are something that are strong for me, and I don't want to waste too much time drawing a perfect eye and then drawing a second one, and then trying to move everything. I'm just trying to put things on to help figure out like the placement. So I even add like the hair swoop of the, I guess the bangs. And then I start trying to do my chin. Now again, if you watch any of my drawing videos, you know chins absolutely cook your boy. They absolutely cook me. But it's okay. I'm still trying to be a little fast. I'm not trying to take too long with this. Because if you take too long, well, you're going to run out of time, right? And not only that, but one detail at the start could ruin every single other thing. Like if your left eye is too far up, then you're going to move your mouth up, your nose up, your hair in the wrong place, and all of that. Oh my god, man, throws me for a loop. So I try and be really particular about like my first couple details, and then believe that I'll fix everything else in the process. One thing I really do like about this reference is just the eye, I guess, like the color, or the lack of I don't know what. I'm still learning, man. The iris, right? Like it's all just a giant circle. I can work with that a little bit because I definitely could have gotten cooked if I had to add like proper shading here, or just set up whatever you'd call it, man. I don't know. The eye it's a sphere too, so you got to get like the angle of it, coming out of the eye socket rather than being flatly painted on. Sorry, I'm dying over there. But you can see I actually go to save my chin line because I can't tell which one looks right. I can't look at the reference image and then decide which one's correct. I absolutely am so cooked, man. It's something that I try every day at, and I still suck at it. It is what it is, man. I think I'm a couple months into art, and let me tell you, man, you second guess every single thing you do, at least if you're me. I second guess so many things because it's not like in a video game, right? Like if you correctly play, let's say Guitar Hero, you will complete the song and you will see how many stars you got, and with those stars you'll know if you did good or bad. Well, this isn't the same. Unless I put the original reference image directly behind mine, I won't see which things are out of place, wrong, too big, too small, whatever. But either way, we just lock in some of the details and I accept them, because even if the jaw looks a little wonky, you might not see it if my mouth is so good, if my eyes are so good, my nose is properly angled and so on. And these lips, I tried to add some details in, try and fix some things. I do think a lot of the time when it comes to mouths in particular, that blank space, like if you can fill in all the space, it actually looks a lot better. But I made a mistake with my erasing, so we had to chalk that up. We had to go to the hair. Now about here, I think I'm about halfway done with my time, a little over half, and I have the face, I have the eyes, I have the mouth, I have the hair, and now let's try and just lock in some of the cooler details, right? And also not even just cooler details, but make sure that we have a complete thing where even if our head is too damn big, at least we have one. A weirdly deformed head is better than no head. So that's my motto in life. So we're setting up the hair. Hair is something I have been getting better at. It definitely comes down to like the head shape, where the curvature of the head will decide the curvature of the hair sometimes. But I myself, sometimes you can use your canvas to deny yourself having to draw these fully formed curves in hair. So I'm loving that. Throw on a shoulder. Again, I haven't done any anatomy at all. I've only done head and neck and hair and so on. So me drawing this armpit and all that, I have no clue what I'm doing. But again, I have more time, so I have to add more than what he had. So I'm trying to throw on some clothes, figure out how those lines work, get the little metal medallion, whatever you'd call it, on the front of the let's say shirt, and try and just make it a little more 3D, add some little shade lines here just to make sure there's depth here. Depth has always been something that I struggle with, and even just that 3D effect, it is something that, my god, people can see it, but until it's like you in front of the piece of paper, you sometimes don't know how to actually like convey these things. And I got freckles too. You see that? That's how. Hey, so I saw your homework and I made it better. I didn't just steal your answer. I made it better. So you can see, trying to clean up some of my lines. One thing that I did learn is I actually didn't know the word of the type of art that I like to make. And one of the things that I learned that I like the most, I like strong line art. I love really, really big, bold line art lines. They are so cool to me. So obviously, as I try and figure out my style, if again you can have a style as a noob artist, let me tell you, man, I love good line art. You can see I'm messing up with the paint bucket tool because I'm on the wrong layer, but now I'm saving it, adding a little bit. Look at that, little bit of gray there. Give it some depth. Again, 60 minutes. That's all I got. You'd be scared to know what I would make with 2 hours, okay? Don't give me 2 hours. That's when stuff really starts coming together. But you can see I'm just trying to bring the lines together, make sure that the hair, the parts that are over something else make sense. Throw on a little bit, just a little bit of color, just to make sure everything makes sense. And you can we're getting pretty close to the end here, and you can see I'm working on trying to figure out like what how to use the transform tool and make it make sense, because let me tell you, man, it just was feeling a little bit too like turned too much. And you can see I'm actually going for that line art. This is my Hail Mary play here, where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give it some big bold lines. That way you'll know where I'm at. It'll feel very intentional. It'll look very good. And the reality is the clock is ticking because I'm almost at the end here. And he was luckily lenient enough to give me an extra 20 seconds, because let me tell you, man, I actually messed up my layers a little bit here, but we ended up figuring it out. Everything worked out, and yeah, I realized I can't get any line art done here. That line art process takes so, my God, absolutely long. It is insane. But you can see we're just wrapping up some final touches here, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling pretty good. You can see me messing with the direction, trying to get that weird turn, man. I can't figure it out at all. I ended up just leaving it, and that took some of my time. But you can see 1 hour, the clock went ding, and you can see we're starting to talk about it a little bit, but the reality is the only person's opinion that matters is well, you guys. We've made it to the end of the video. Who do you think won? Here's mine at 1 hour, and here is theirs at 10 minutes. Obviously, thank you, Roververse, for even being a part of this and allowing me to challenge them in this respect. Thank you so much for watching. Let us know if you want us to do more things like this in the future, and have a wonderful day.